All right, so the example is here we have a credit card company calculates the interest using the average daily balance method. The monthly interest rate is 1.6% of the average daily balance. The following transactions occurred during the month of May 1st to May 31st billing period. And what we're supposed to do is one, find the average daily balance for the billing period, round to the nearest penny. Find the interest to be paid on June 1st, the next billing date. Round to the nearest penny again. Find the balance due on June 1st. And then the credit card requires a $10 minimum monthly payment if the balance due at the end of the billing period is less than $360. Otherwise, the minimum monthly payment is 1/36th of the balance due at the end of the billing period, rounded up to the nearest whole dollar. What is the minimum monthly payment due by June 9th? All right, so here are transactions. And so what we need to do is kind of make a table and write what we have and don't have. So if we do this and we get our uh, everything writing here like proper, we'll have our first one is going to be May 1st. On May 1st, the previous balance was this much. So our balance column is going to be 8240. Okay. So that again, this is our previous balance. Now, on May 7th, so May 7th, we have a payment of $350. So this is going to be $350, and this is a payment. Okay. So what we have to think about here is what is that? Well, if we take this number and we subtract off this number, that will give us what our number is here. So we'll take 8240 minus 350, and if we do that's going to be 7890. So at this point in time, our balance will be that. This is our balance at that point. So for May 7th, we're at 7890. Okay. Now it says over there, our May 15th, we're going to charge something. So May 15th, we're going to charge a computer, and we're charging 1405. So that's going to be 1405 is how much we are being charged. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 7890 plus a 1405, and we'll get 9295. Oops, got to write the right number there. 9295 is going to be our balance at that point in time. All right. And so then after May 15th, May 17th, we have another charge. So May 17th, we have a restaurant. So we'll just call it a food charge. And that was $45.20. So now we'll take our previous balance, 92.95 plus $45.20. And so our new balance at that point in time is 9340.20. Okay. The next thing it says we're going to make another charge, and so that's on May 30th. And that's going to be a charge of 180.72, and that's clothing charge. And so we'll take our 9340.20 plus 180.72. And so our new balance for that day is going to be 9520.92. Okay. Now, what we have to do is now we have to think about how many days were there in between here. So there were 6 days before this changed something. It was going to be 6 days. It was going to be at this amount. So we're going to take, let's see how close we need. 6 times 8240. Okay. And that's how much it's going to be for May 1st to May 7th. That's going to be the balance for those days. So that's going to be, if we multiply that out, that's 49440. Okay. Now, from May 7th to May 15th, there's 8 days there. And so that's going to be 8 days at the 7890. Now, if we multiply that out, that's going to be 63,120. Now, from the 15th to the 17th, well, there's 2 days at the 92.95. And so that's going to be 18,590. And then from the 17th to the 30th, well, that's 13 days at the new balance of 9340.20. And so that's going to give us 121,422.60. And so from this day, 30th, and also the 31st of May, so 2 days, it's going to be at 9520.92. And multiply that out, get 19041.84. Okay. So now we've got the balance for 6 days. We got another balance for 8 days, another balance for 2 days, another balance for 13 days, and another balance for the last 2 days. And if we add those all together, we get 14, 27, 29, 30, 31. So there's 31 days. So we got the right number of days. So now we just have to total that. And if we do, that's going to give us a value of 27161 4.44. Okay. And yeah, and so now how many days were there? Well, we're 31 days. So if we divide that by 31 days, that's going to give us our average daily balance. So that's going to be $8,761.76. So that's the average daily balance. All right. Now, so that gives us part A, find the average daily balance for the billing period rounded to the nearest penny. And so I rounded it to the penny, which was 76. All right. So to find the interest to be paid June 1st, the next billing period. All right. Well, interest. So this, I guess we could call this, look like that was 1. So for 2, interest is equal to, well, we're going to take the 8761.76 times our interest rate. We had 1.6%, so that's 0.016. And it was for 1 month. And if we multiply that out, what we get is $140.19. Okay, so that's how much interest we have. Now it says find the balance due. Well, what's the balance due? Well, if we take, we take our ending balance here, 9520.92 plus our 140.19, that should give us our new balance. So 3 is going to be 9520.92 plus 140.19, and that gives us the balance of 9661.11. So this is interest, and this is our balance. Okay. All right, and then the next piece asks for what is the minimum payment? Well, it's way over $360. So that means we have to take 1/36th of our balance. So we're going to take 9661.11 times 1 over 36. And if we do that, we get rounded to the whole number, $269. So that's going to be our minimum payment. Okay. And again, nothing really hard as far as work goes. You know, we're taking a number, subtracting off a number, adding a number, adding a number, adding a number. Here, we just have to figure out how many days it was at and then multiply. So we just multiplied all those together. Then we added this column together to get a total amount we owe, divided by 31 to get the average we owe per day. And so that's the average daily balance. Then we take it, multiply it by our interest rate times 1 month, and we get $140.19 for our interest we owe for May. Now we have to add that to our final balance of after the month was over, 9520.92. That gives us the balance on our credit card at that point in time with the interest. And then we had to think about what is the minimum payment. So we divide it by 36 basically. And when we round it to the whole dollar, it's $269. And that's going to be our minimum payment. All right, so that's the whole amount of calculations that we have for this section. Everything else is kind of is informational and stuff like that. So let's stop here and go to some more information.